Welcome to Worth It or Worthless, a show where every couple weeks we pull a game from my own personal collection of retro games, take off our nostalgia-tinted glasses and decide, is the game good by today's standards and is it worth the price of admission? We talk about what the game does well, what the game doesn't do so well, and things that are just plain weird. I'm your host Dan, joined as always by my friend Jordan. Jordan, what did we get into today?
Today we played Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Maximum Carnage is the story of Spider-Man gathering a team of D-list randos to beat up Carnage's girlfriend.
Oh, so there was like what? It's a bunch of D-list randos on both sides.
Yeah, but like, who's the person that you fight more than any other boss in this game?
Doppelganger and Shriek and Demo Goblin and the other one and Carnage.
Yes.
But not Carnage. You fight Carnage like twice, but you fight his team of cronies about 17 times.
Yes, exactly. And you always start by fighting Shriek, who is Carnage's girlfriend.
No.
Yes, she is his girlfriend, Dan.
Okay, maybe she is.
No, you said no, and I said she is.
Okay, so in the second level,
yeah,
you've got Doppelganger like following you around, right? You're climbing up the side of the building.
Yeah. Doppelganger, for those of you who don't know, is just Spider-Man, but he has 6 arms.
Yes.
Because he's more of a spider.
Yeah. Now you're going to have to sort of take the lead on the comic book lore here.
Okay. This game is actually one of the first, if not the first, video games to ever be based on a specific storyline from the comics. It wasn't just like, here are the X-Men and they're doing things.
Yeah.
It was the Maximum Carnage storyline, which was all of the Spider-Man books at the time. So you have Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man. All of the books were focusing on this one storyline of Carnage and Spider-Man and Venom teaming up and getting together a bunch of villains and heroes to take down Carnage. And so this game is one of the first games that took an actual storyline from the books and made it into an entire game.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact.
Sorry, I'm not trying to encroach on your fun facts. I'm just trying to give little bit of backstory here.
You're just the resident historian here, so I'm going to be looking to you for all lore questions on this, especially never having read the Maximum Carnage.
That's right. I've never read Maximum Carnage, but I have read a lot of Spider-Man. Because this is what happened. I read all of the Amazing Spider-Man from the very first one until like 1985 or something.
Yeah.
And then I've read a whole bunch of the new ones.
Yeah.
But the like late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, I haven't read them. So, and that's when this was in that time frame.
Okay. You know I love Batman. Big Batman fan. However, Jordan.
Yeah.
Second favorite comic storyline of all time, the original run of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, very good. I've read all that.
I am a Spider fan as well, just not to the extent that you are.
Spider-Man's the greatest comic book hero of all time.
Besides Batman,
I don't think that anybody would ever argue against that. You'd have to be insane.
Yeah. I mean, right underneath Batman.
Number one.
Yes, number one besides Batman, like absolutely.
Batman's not a superhero. I said superhero.
What is Batman?
Batman's just a rich guy who has a cosplay fetish.
The world's greatest detective.
That doesn't mean you're a superhero.
Okay, whatever, man. Anyways, so you were talking about fighting Carnage's girlfriend about the 17 times that you do in this game. But actually, you always fight her and Doppelganger at the same time.
That's true. All of the boss fights in this game, except for the very last one, are multiple bosses attacking you at the same time, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a comic book.
Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly, I think, get to some of that
at
some point in the episode. But yeah, it's like you're fighting Doppelganger and Shriek, and then you're fighting like
Demo Goblin, which is a demon version of Hobgoblin.
Like the D-list goblins, and then Green Goblin, but not Green Goblin. What's his name? Carrion?
Carrion has nothing to do with the goblins.
Why is he dressed?
He's actually a clone of the Jackal.
Okay, he looks literally like Green Goblin.
Well, it's kind of like how
he does this thing where he like takes over your brain and steals your health.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like a zombie type guy. He hates Spider-Man because Spider-Man killed the Jackal and Gwen Stacy.
Spider-Man kill people?
Not on purpose. I mean, he killed Gwen Stacy by trying to save her.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right. I saw that in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. I think her Emma Stone.
Famous actress Gwen Stacy.
Emma Stone, I think, is her name. Maybe. Anyway, it's a Spider-Man game, you guys.
Is it? I couldn't tell.
It is.
And what was your first clue that this was a Spider-Man game?
Well, this one is actually called Spider-Man Venom. There's no "and," which throws me off in these. It's just Spider-Man.
Well, separation anxiety
trademark,
as well.
But that one is Venom, trademark, Spider-Man, trademark. So they flipped it around for that one. This one is Spider-Man gets the top billing for separation anxiety. Venom got the top billing.
Okay. I mean, whatever. This is all very strange to me.
It is. Why don't you hit us up with some fun facts?
All right. I got some fun facts for you, Jordan. Just shout out to our favorite website, Wikipedia.
.com.
Not our .org.
Really?
I think it's Wikipedia.org.
There's no chance it's .org. There probably is a Wikipedia.org.
It actually is Wikipedia.org.
Really?
Yep.
I bet you if you go to Wikipedia.com, it takes you the same place.
Probably. I would imagine they would lock that down at this point. Not really our favorite website, but a useful website that we like a lot. So thank you, Wikipedia. This one developed by Software Creations and published by Acclaim and LJN.
Yeah, one of those is a good person to make video games.
Well, it's interesting. Actually, I recently posed a question on our Discord about developers that people like and game makers, because publishers aren't developers necessarily, but
well, sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah, it can get confusing. But somebody, I can't remember exactly who it was at this point, said LJN was one of their favorite.
I think it was Retro Librarian Gamer likes
folks.
LJN.
Although I don't know how sterling LJN's reputation is. I believe the angry video game nerd, not a fan of LJN.
Whenever we post anything online about a game that was made by LJN, there's a lot of comments about how bad they are.
Yeah.
But there's also always a lot of comments about the angry video game nerd.
Yeah.
So you never know what is somebody's actual opinion and what somebody's just saying that they saw on YouTube.
So if you didn't hear it here, you probably can't trust it.
That's true, because I don't know about Dan. But I believe that I have become one of the most trusted sources of retro video game knowledge.
If you want to know the honest truth, ask worth it or worthless. Yeah. Send us a DM at WioW Podcast.
We'll just give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on if the game is any good.
Jordan, this one came out in North America in September of 1994. Came out in Europe in November 1994, and the Japanese version came out on the Mega Drive only, I think, in May of 1995.
Wow, and they were probably pretty bummed out because their version of Spider-Man is very different than our version of Spider-Man.
Really?
It's Supaida-Man, and he gets in a giant robot called the Leopardon? I don't know. It's some like leopard robot thing. It's very different. It's more like Power Rangers than Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. Don't know what to do with that.
It's just a fun fact.
It is a fun fact that I didn't know. See, this is why you're on. This is why I invited you to be part of this episode.
I know fuzzy facts about Spider-Man.
Because you are the comic book, the internet's foremost comic book expert, I believe, as well as retro gaming expert.
Yeah, both. I'm just gonna see how many titles can I amass by the end of this podcast episode.
Jordan, first prints of the game were released in red cartridges.
Yeah, they were. I've seen those.
That's fun.
I actually read something about how they like way overestimated how many people would buy this game, and so the red ones are more common than the non-red ones these days because they actually sold more of the red ones than the not red ones.
Now, I noticed that the on PriceCharting, the cardboard box version of the Genesis copy of this was significantly cheaper than the other listing. I assume the main listing was the red cartridge and the cardboard box was the black cartridge, but I don't know that for sure. But I have the red Super Nintendo version and I have the black Genesis version.
Well, who knows? Maybe you've got something on your hands.
Not going to hold my breath.
Well, you already looked up the price, so you already
sure
know
did.
if you've got something on your hands.
I actually didn't. I don't know where I'm coming in at this one. I haven't thought about that, so we'll see. I might have something in my hands to throw in the trash. We'll see.
Oh, wow.
We'll see. We kind of touched on separation anxiety a little bit. The sequel to Maximum Carnage is Separation Anxiety, which we've covered in an earlier show. I'm sure Jordan can
I
like
actually
a wizard come up quickly with the episode number. I'm always impressed at how fast he does this.
Episode 23.
There it is.
This is, I just open my podcast app and start frantically typing the name of the episode. Episode 23. That's
Incredible.
an early one. We covered Venom and Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's a co-op beat 'em up. That what do we think about that? You listened to the episode. I didn't go back and listen to it. What were our thoughts on Separation Anxiety?
It was kind of mixed. It came in right at about an hour of gameplay co-op, and we said that was the right amount, and any longer would have been too much.
Okay.
And we liked that it was Spider-Man and a beat 'em up, but other than that, we weren't particularly enthused.
No.
I said that I didn't like it as much as Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising because that has become one of my favorites.
Okay. So we were kind of middle of the road on it.
Yeah.
Meh. Was it worth it or worthless?
I don't remember. Now I'm looking to see, did I actually finish? I stopped listening with like 6 minutes left, so maybe I didn't hear that part.
Back when the episodes were structured a little differently.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, and apparently in your tracking as well, the games are basically identical, Super Nintendo and Genesis.
Yeah.
So not a lot different. I played the Genesis version. This game is single player. I played the Genesis version. You played the Super Nintendo version. And so we were kind of like, let's have a well-rounded discussion on the different versions of this. Oh, they're the same.
They're the same, yeah. Obviously, the sound is a tiny bit different because Genesis has better sound, right?
Yeah.
Or is it Super Nintendo has better sound?
I don't know. I think I think when it comes down to this debate, I feel like the Genesis is the one that people are like, it has the better soundtrack.
Yeah.
But I was, I didn't share that enthusiasm with this particular game.
No, we didn't love the soundtrack of Separation Anxiety either.
Kind of like a tinny, sort of shreddy, MIDI guitar-y kind of.
Yeah. MIDI guitar is
not
never
shrill,
really a great sounding.
But I'm not, yeah. All right.
All right.
We touched on this is one of the first video games to be based on an actual comic storyline.
Yeah.
Not just to have comic book characters in it, but like Maximum Carnage was a comic book storyline, and I don't know. It says, I think Wikipedia said one of the first. I don't know what the other ones around the same era would have been, but I
mean, there may have been ones that were based on like a story, but this, I think, from what I can think, like through my knowledge of comic book video games, this has to be the first one that was based on like a major Marvel event.
Yeah. And last fun fact, Jordan, this was the first Spider-Man game to receive a teen rating on the Genesis version. It's rated MA13, and the Super Nintendo version still rated K to A, but this was the first teen-rated Spider-Man game.
Man, I wonder what caused that.
Well, you know, Nintendo with their stringent standards, no blood in Mortal Kombat. Maybe the Genesis version, you can put the blood code in on Maximum Carnage. And,
I did see in the
version.
cheat list there was an option to play as a bloodied Venom. So
I don't remember seeing Venom with any blood on him.
No.
So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, who knows?
But as I was kind of hacking around a little bit before we got started, there's cheats on the Retron where you can choose the starting level in the Genesis version.
Okay.
And there was it was one of the later levels, and I was like, it might have been like 19 or something. You could only go up to 21. And I think I loaded up the 19th level, and it started with a cutscene of Venom, like strung up above like a bonfire, and Carnage was aiming the sonic gun at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't see this cutscene when I played the game, so I must have missed this somehow.
There's stuff, I don't know if there's like branching whatever going on, but I missed some stuff because like when I was watching or like reading about it, I saw there was a level where you're like fighting in the Statue of the Liberties.
That's a secret level.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
I was like, I
apparently,
didn't see that.
When I think on GameFaqs, I looked at the cheats or whatever, and there's a cutscene where if you mash like A and B or something as Venom, then you'll unlock a secret Statue of Liberty level.
There's also some like secret spots where if you like stay on a screen or you try to go back a screen, you'll enter a secret area, but I never bothered finding them.
I did end up accidentally playing that Statue of Liberty level.
Okay.
I think it was you're just inside the Statue of Liberty's head
basically
for a screen.
Yeah, you're just playing
like 2
the story
minutes.
of the original X-Men movie.
Jordan, that is all my fun facts. Are you about ready to get into what the game does well?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, my number one favorite thing from this game, and the thing that this game does so much better than Separation Anxiety, is the story. It's actually presented as comic book panels. You get like call outs where like people will be talking and like the different you're still reading. In Separation Anxiety, the whole story is just orange text on black screens, and between levels you're reading orange text on black screen, and we're like, that's right, that's kind of lame. It's like just paragraphs.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah,
it's kind of like reading a novel, which is the opposite of a comic book. And in this one you get actual, I don't know how accurate, like if these are panels straight out of the comic books, but
I believe that the Wikipedia page did say that this used art from the actual comic itself.
Yeah, and I thought that was awesome. Like, just, we already know that this is a story taken from the comic books, but it actually feels like you're playing a comic book, which I don't really get that in every video game, every comic book video game that we've played.
Yeah, it's interesting that you start there, because a couple of my points, I have that the cutscenes work really well for a comic-based game.
Yeah.
They're like, this is Maximum Carnage, it's a comic-based storyline, so we're actually going to almost double down on these cutscenes in the way that you're like reading a comic book, which I think might not, it's retro gaming cutscenes can kind of be like, oh, it's a picture with some words, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah,
but I think that in this particular case, it actually works perfectly for what this is.
It does. I mean, just because it's a comic book medium, and so you already have that to draw from, it's significantly better than just a black screen with some text on it.
Yeah, and another thing that I have kind of piggybacking on that is it comes from good source material.
Yeah.
You've got Spider-Man and Venom, very popular characters. I feel like Carnage is another like popular anti-hero. He's not really an anti-hero. He's
he's
straight
just
up
a
villain.
Very bad guy.
But I feel like when I think of Spider-Man, the characters that come to mind, like Venom and Carnage, are some of the first characters that are going to come to your mind when you're talking about Spider-Man.
Would you say that you also think of like Cloak and Dagger and
yes.
Iron Fist?
Yes.
Yeah, and Deathlock.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Those are some other characters that are in this game.
Did you see the when Captain America shows up? He looks real. He looks a little.
Kind of looks disappointed.
Tired.
Yeah, maybe tired.
I posted a screenshot of his sprite, the face of it, in Discord when I was playing it, and it was just like, what is? He doesn't look like he's really here
Not
to be very
quite
much
as
help.
stoic as the Captain America from Captain America and the Avengers video game.
But regardless, I was like, this is I like that I'm playing as Spider-Man. I like that I'm playing as Venom. I like that I'm seeing, Carnage run around. I like playing around in this world based on this comic book storyline. And so, you're more of one to be excited about a game because it's based on a comic book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not, when I play the Ninja Turtles games, I'm like, I like Ninja Turtles, but I'm not like, man, I really like this because it's Ninja Turtles. It's just kind of a side effect of a game that's enjoyable to play regardless of whether or not it's Ninja Turtles or not.
Not sure if I fully buy that from you, but okay.
I'm just saying, it's not, I don't know.
I want to remind everybody that we're recording this in a room that is literally wallpaper,
come on. It is
floor
not
to ceiling with Ninja Turtle. I actually had to step over a turtle on my way in here so I wouldn't squish it, and its name is Donatello. And so I just want to let you guys know, Dan might be a little biased when it comes to Ninja Turtles.
Right.
He's currently wearing a purple bandana with eye slits cut in it. So
yes, because everybody knows my favorite Ninja Turtle is Donatello, as you've pointed out.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have we been friends?
Your favorite Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo.
Can you name all 4 turtles?
Michelangelo, Donatello, Plato, and Socrates. No, I know it's Raphael and Leonardo.
I like how you're literally looking. Okay,
I'm looking.
I have a poster.
I have so many turtles to look at in this room. They're just staring at me, and they all are like grimacing in anger that I can't remember. I know all of their names.
There's a single Ninja Turtles poster in here, and he was just staring at it for far too long for me to actually believe what he's saying right now.
A single Ninja Turtles poster that literally covers all 4 walls. There's actually more than 4 walls in this room.
All right, Jordan, good source material. What else do we have?
Well, no, I'm not finished with that because in the last game, we said that one of the things we liked was the assist trophies. Like there's these little assist trophies and you can gather them and then trigger them. And it's cool on their own because it's like a way in the other game you could have Quicksilver come out and shoot his bow at people or Ghost Rider come and use his flame whip. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Those are also in this game, but they're not just completely random. We talked about this when it came to Captain America and the Avengers too. It's like, oh, there's Quicksilver and he came up to do something and Wonder Man flew by. And it's like, it was kind of cool just to see them. But in this game, it actually makes sense because all of the assist trophy people are part of the story and you get them in the cutscenes. Spider-Man and Venom are building a team to take down Carnage and his team of bad guys. And it's like, okay, these aren't just random superheroes popping in, but they're there for a reason. So no, Cloak and Dagger would not be my first choice of who to have in a video game, but it makes sense because they're actually from the storyline.
Yeah, the assist trophies, I feel like they didn't introduce them in the game early enough.
Yeah.
They are storyline based, but I felt like it just took forever to get to them.
Yeah. And one interesting thing about them that I didn't really notice until I read about it is that when you use an assist trophy, depending on if you're playing as Spider-Man or Venom, they do different things.
Yeah.
So like if you use Iron Fist when you're playing as Spider-Man, he'll heal you to full health, which is, if you're actually trying to play this game without cheats, that's a premium thing to be able to heal to full health. But if you're playing as Venom, I almost said Iron Man. Iron Fist will just go and like kick the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Jordan, another thing I have is that this game lets you pick characters in some certain levels. You can pick between Spider-Man and Venom. And I like that. I played this game as a kid. And I don't really ever remember like playing as Venom as a kid, which probably just means I was terrible at this game.
Venom is a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he's always better. Anytime you can, I feel like this might not be that far-fetched of a statement, but I feel like anytime you can play as Venom in a video game, that's a good thing.
Well, he's strong. He's not as fast as Spider-Man, but yeah, they're pretty similar. They have all the same move sets, other than their like special moves, which are a little bit different. But Venom definitely does more damage per punch.
Yeah, which I mean, in this game, it's probably essential. I don't know.
Yeah, damage per punch is at a high premium in this game.
Yeah. Are you a Venom fan? Generally?
Like I have not seen the Venom movies.
No, but I mean, would you buy a Venom T-shirt?
No.
Like you never owned like the black Venom Spider T-shirt.
I feel like kind of like the people who own Venom T-shirts are just like kind of, and I don't want to stereotype. Now, if you have a Venom T-shirt, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all the other people who don't respect the source material. It's kind of like the guys who have Punisher stickers on the back of their truck. But, like he's never read a comic book. He just likes the idea of a guy just like shooting a bunch of people or something. There. I'm just saying.
I like Venom, but I feel like my Venom fandom was like on the back of my brother's Spider-Man fandom as like a little brother who was like into some of the stuff that his older brother was into.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I got my like interest in Venom was from him. My brother, I think his favorite hero is Spider-Man. He's like a hardcore Spider-Man fan,
yeah.
So
as you all should be. I do like Venom in the comic books. I have a really cool more modern comic book series that follows Venom and Anti-Venom.
Okay.
And that's a really cool
I like the
Spider-Man
look of
story.
Anti-Venom.
Yeah.
The white.
He's just Venom,
the
but
white suit. Yeah. I'm like, that character looks cool.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the different symbiotes. Or did we had this conversation last time about how to pronounce this word? Symbiote.
It's symbiote.
I think it is too, but I feel like I remember us having a discussion about how there's multiple ways to pronounce this. Anyway.
Another one of those discussions that we have on this podcast.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time, Banuna. It's like what we always say. There's just so many different ways to pronounce these words. Anyway, Venom. He's in the game. And you can pick him and play him as if you want to.
And that's always a good thing, I think.
It's definitely not a bad thing to have options.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like that this game mixes it up by forcing you to try new strategies. I came to a point where I was fighting some mini bosses.
Okay, interesting.
Whoa! Oh.
No, I'm just.
You just had a physical reaction to that statement. Now, follow me.
I sure did.
Follow me here.
My brain just broke for a second.
A lot of times in beat 'em ups, I get into the habit of just like doing my one cool move, which in this game is walking over to a bad guy, picking him up, and then throwing him at other bad guys, and then punching some guys.
Yeah.
That's my standard cycle. And in this game, there are some bosses, mini bosses, if you will, that will not take damage until you fight them a specific way. For example, there are some mini bosses that will not take any damage until you web them. And once you've webbed them, then they will start taking damage. There are also some enemies that don't take damage until you grab them. If you just go and punch them forever, they're not going to take any damage. So it forces you to kind of break out of your rut and explore the controls and learn some different things.
I just assumed that those characters, they have like gray health bars before they turn red or something in the Genesis version.
They were green in the Super Nintendo. They were green until you figured out what you needed to do, and then their health bar turns red.
I didn't realize there was a way of fighting them. I was just fighting.
So you eventually figured it out, and you didn't realize that you had figured it out.
Well, I didn't play this game as like a one sort of move, one trick pony kind of style.
Okay.
I was webbing, I was grabbing, I was punching, I was doing all of the things for the most part.
Well, I guess you're just a better player than me.
I mean, that tracks with our experience at this game.
Well, there you
Podcast,
go.
but,
The game forces you to get good. And if you're already good, then you don't really notice that, I guess. But for those of us who tend to fall into old patterns, maybe this game will force you to explore the full controller.
I like that. We should put a pin in that statement. The game forces you to get good. I feel like we should just let me write it down real quick, set it on the desk so that we don't
We'll remember.
forget.
We'll come back to that.
Jordan, I like the so you mentioned you can web guys.
Yep.
You can you can do like a quick web attack, which will like rope them up. You can do like a grab web attack where you pull them across the screen and you have picked them up and you can punch them, or I think you can throw them.
Yep.
Or you can like walk and grab guys. If you touch a guy, you'll pick them up.
You have to press up, and then you'll pick the guy up over your head, and you can throw him.
Yeah, but one of the coolest moves that I liked in this game was if you are standing between two enemies and you web attack, double smash. It's like the classic slapstick smashing enemy heads sort of.
You web a guy to your left, you web a guy to your right, and it pulls them together, and they smash together, and it's almost always an instant kill, which is so good. It feels so good.
Yeah, if you can pull it off consistently in this game, it's a huge thing.
It's all about like timing stuff correctly, and there's a lot of timing kind of stuff in this game. Where if you get in a combo of punches without missing, your health bar will start flashing.
Yeah,
and then if you time a punch correctly, it'll do like a super attack, and it kills them in one hit.
Is there a timing component to that? Because I was just mash.
Yes, there's a timing. There's a timing component to it, Dan.
I guess you didn't get good
as much as you thought.
No, I never claimed to be good at this game. I think we'll get into that here shortly, but I don't know. I didn't feel I don't want to say the game doesn't have a very deep system to it, but I didn't find myself employing a lot of strategy to this one. It was just like, I have these few surface level moves that I can use.
See, you're just totally backtracking everything you said a minute ago, and you were trashing my strategy. And now over here we find out you never had any strategy all along.
Well, never mind. Doesn't matter.
All right.
Well, you're talking about doing one thing. I'm talking about doing three things.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. You got anything else, Dan?
I don't. I
got one. I went actually back and played some Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. Sorry, Venom Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. And this game actually does do a lot better than the sequel.
Yeah.
One of our big nits that we picked with the sequel was there are a ton of
I think it's picks that we knit.
No, we picked the nits. Anyway, there are a lot of foreground obstructions in Separation Anxiety, like giant girders or lamp posts that just block large parts of the screen. This game, I only noticed that on one occasion, and it wasn't that bad.
Oh, you're talking about giant trees, right?
Yeah, well, all sorts of stuff. Trees, girders, lamp posts, just like in the foreground to give you some parallax.
Yeah.
But just like blocking a big enough portion that
Yeah.
it was annoying. So this game doesn't have as much of that, which you could say, well, it doesn't have as much parallaxing. Like that's not, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't look as cool, but it definitely plays a little better because of that. I also noticed that this game has a better HUD. You have
Okay.
a big thing that shows you how many lives you have. It shows you your score. And then on the other side of the screen, it'll show you the enemy, like their little portrait picture. It'll have a health bar, and then it'll have their name. And you don't get any of that in the sequel because it's made to be 2 players. And so they take a tiny little portrait of the character and then a tiny little health bar. You have no names. And so it's very more compact, and it doesn't quite look as good, the HUD.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
On top of the other things that I mentioned earlier, like the story and the cutscenes and all that kind of stuff.
Those are some very Dan points of you, Jordan. I'm proud of you.
No, I'm
Did
just
you
saying,
have more than 3 points this time?
No, I had 3 exactly.
Did you have sub points under the 3? I feel like you had way more than 3 points.
Let's not talk about it.
Breaking your own rules.
No, I would never break my own rules. It's just I always list stuff under my main point. Whatever. All right, let's move on to the parts that it didn't do so well.
All right, Jordan, the first point that I have on what this game does not do so well is the AI.
The AI, okay, you're gonna have to explain.
So this game, the AI, or
you're talking about like Jarvis and Vision. They weren't in the game. You should have had them in
the.
the.
It was a real problem. Not only was Iron Man not in the game, but Jarvis wasn't in the game, and
There
neither
was
the
one
Vision.
panel of the Vision at the end where he like the Avengers finally showed up to take away Carnage, and the Vision was the one who was representing the Avengers.
Okay. Anyways, so you get punched. It's like this game does its best to have guys surround you and like interrupt you by punching. I don't know how you manage to have your main strategy be to pick up and throw a guy, because there's also like one of the frustrating things about this game is you pick up guys so frequently that you didn't necessarily want to pick up. I'm just wandering around the screen trying to punch guys. And now I've grabbed somebody. I'm stuck in the middle of the screen, and it's hard to have to get rid of that guy quickly.
Yeah.
Without taking damage.
Okay.
And it happened over and over and over and over again. And then the boss AI is super cheap, especially Carnage.
Wait. We don't move on to the bosses yet. I want to say
I was
something.
talking about the AI in general.
Oh, okay. But this is the thing. This is the trick. Because I think the way that you handle the bad AI in this game with all of the enemies surrounding you, which is something they actually tweaked in Separation Anxiety, they did change the enemy AI. And people say that it's better in the sequel. But in this game, all the enemies just mob you. And the reason that I was picking guys up so much is because I would go to the side of the screen, pick up a bad guy over there, throw it through the mob that was coming towards me, and then as they're down, you can take on individual bad guys. So that's why throwing was part of my strategy. You can't pick up a guy in the middle of the mob or you're done for. You have to get somebody separated, pick them up, and then throw them through the mob. So yeah, that's kind of why I got stuck on that strategy, and it was definitely not as fun, and it was a product of the bad AI. So I do agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like the AI in this game is just like, why? And they do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
You can't take a lot of hits in this one.
I think in the final boss fight, if you get hit 4 times, you're dead. Carnage, if he hits you 4 times, you're dead.
You want to talk about that?
About bosses?
Yeah.
If you want to, you can go wherever you want to go.
The point that I have written down was, how many times do I need to fight Shriek and Doppelganger?
Okay, yeah. So I have this also. I said that it's very repetitive. You fight the same enemies over and over, but more so than that, because like that happens in a lot of beat 'em ups. But in this game, I've never played a beat 'em up where you fight the same boss like 5, 6, 7 times.
That's not even like an exaggeration.
No, I'm not. Like Shriek and Doppelganger, it's kind of like this is what happens. You fight a boss, and then every boss from there on out is a boss gauntlet where you start with the first bosses again and then work your way up to the new boss. And then that one just gets added to the boss gauntlet for the next boss, which is kind of cool because you get these big like team fights where you are fighting and you're calling in your assist trophies and you're fighting a big horde of bad guys. In theory, it sounds cool, but it sounds cool to do that like one time, not to do that every single boss fight.
Yeah, I just I found myself like it's later on in this game just going like again.
Yep.
Like, why am I doing this again?
Yeah.
By that point, I've got the infinite lives cheat on, and I'm just like, can we again? Okay.
Yeah. I think that, it's not even just the bosses and the enemies that are repetitive. You actually will like play New York Streets. And then there's another level later, New York Streets 2. And it does it on a number of occasions where you play a level and then you go back to that level again later. And it's just like, here we are again. And we said for separation anxiety that we beat it together in about an hour and that was just enough. Any more would have been too much. In this game, I think with the repetition definitely overstays its welcome. It did not need to do that.
I have definitely overstayed its welcome as one of my points of what the game didn't do so well. I had some pretty hyperbolic things written down about how much the time that I had with this game.
Oh yeah?
Which I said to you before we started recording, and I was like, is this accurate? And you're like, I don't know about that.
Oh, I don't think I even had to think about it. Your statement was quite hyperbolic.
But because I was like, this might be one of the worst beat 'em ups I've ever played.
I do not agree with that.
And I don't
sentiment.
know what I remember like taking notes in my frustration. So it's just like, by the time I was done with this, I was like done with this game.
Yeah, so I didn't have that same experience. I definitely felt like it was repetitive. You played it in like one go, right?
Yeah, kind of.
And I broke my play up a little bit, so maybe that's part of why.
I say kind of because I was playing it on the Retron, and I like to use the original gamepad when I can.
Yeah.
But I think that the Retron thought that the 3-button Genesis controller was the 6-button Genesis controller.
So you were missing some
And
controls.
so I couldn't web swing. So literally when I got to the second level where you have to climb up the wall and avoid the lightning.
You can't
go. Normally you're supposed to press like up and C and it'll like web swing. But for whatever reason, I tried it on multiple controllers. It didn't work. So I had to switch to the Super Nintendo gamepad.
The superior controller.
So I kind of played it in one go, but I sort of stopped.
Had to play it multiple times. We should say that you 100% absolutely have to have the infinite life code on for this game to be even remotely enjoyable.
I don't think there's an infinite life code by default. I think that's some
there is if you have
trickery.
An action replay, a Game Genie, or a Retron 5. Yeah. So if you are you're playing retro games in 2021 and you aren't playing on something that allows you to load cheats and have save states, you are just being a masochist because these games need it. They need it. You don't have to suffer anymore. Like you don't have to get all the way to the final boss and then not be able to beat him because you ran out of lives. Like whatever, maybe that's your own personal choice and you like to play that way. But for me, as soon as I turned on infinite lives, the game was so much more fun.
That leads into a couple of my other points pretty well. I have a lack of options and that you only start with one continue, which is a product of the lack of options.
Yeah, so you can find continues. You can find continues,
right.
But I don't think I only found one.
But one of the things that I don't like in retro games is when I can't, change the difficulty or like increase the number of starting lives or increase the number of continues. Like the Ninja Turtles games do this really well, where it's like, do you want to start with 7 lives or 3? Do you want to play on easy or hard? Like, just give me options so that I can have a more enjoyable experience.
Wait, you like Ninja Turtles games?
I've played a couple of them.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know you did.
I had a pretty good time.
All right.
I might be getting the Ninja Turtles arcade one up for my birthday this year.
All right.
A second one, because I already have. They re-released. I think I don't know if it's out yet,
Oh, wait.
They
Oh,
re-released
you're
the
being
Turtles.
serious. Okay, I was gonna say Dan has the Ninja Turtles, which I didn't even mention this when I was talking about how much he loves Ninja Turtles. He has the arcade 1-up Ninja Turtles cabinet.
We've reviewed it on the show.
Yes, they just released it again, and now it has Wi-Fi and a light-up deck protector
And different side art.
And instead of like just listing the names of the games on the front, it has fake molded plastic coin doors.
Yep. Don't tempt me.
To sell your old one and buy the new one.
No, just to buy the new one.
And just have two almost identical cabinets in your basement.
Yeah. Why would you not? It's more of an art piece than a center of my
Speak for
gaming
yourself. Speak for
hobbies.
yourself.
Yes, the lack of options in this game is just annoying.
Yeah, I noticed that in the sequel, we had a password system that allows you to progress through the game a little bit more fluidly. It lets you get further into the game without having to backtrack when you die. This one has no password system. Not like I said, not really a big deal because you have to play this with infinite lives. So the password system, it stinks if you don't have that option, but for those of us with the cheat codes, not really a big deal.
You also just led into my next point really well, Jordan. This game is absolutely brutal, and it feels like the quintessential retro games are hard kind of game.
Okay.
I tried to play this game without cheating. I didn't get super far into it. And at some point I was just like, so go back to the beginning of the game or put on infinite lives and keep playing this.
Yeah.
Because this game, by the end of this game, it was one of those where my brain had turned off and kept checking back. You know, a game is whatever, 30 to 60 frames a second. And like my brain goes down to like 1 frame a minute where I'm like, is it still, I'm just beat him up. But
this is the thing.
How much longer do I have to play this?
I think
maybe I should go do a raid on Pokemon Go while I'm waiting to do that.
I think that this game is actually a lot of fun until you beat the Fantastic Four headquarters level, and then after that everything just feels so samey, but they up the difficulty so much that it's not fun anymore. So you can really play like half of this game and have a good time before it gets to just be this total slog.
Yeah.
But the second half of the game is really hard. I mean, the game, I never got past to the second level. I didn't I don't want to try to memorize in no death a beat 'em up game.
Yeah.
It's not interesting to me. So I'm all here for the infinite life code. But I think that there is a lot of fun to be had in the first half of the game before you get into that really slog of just being mobbed by bad guys, being mobbed by bosses.
So I fired this game back up for about 10 minutes before we recorded today.
Yep.
Just to refresh my memory. And it was fun for those 10 minutes. And I was like, was this game really as bad as I thought it was?
No, it's just that the second half just it kills your will to live.
But even I played a little bit of the levels in the second half and I was like, this doesn't seem so bad. What was I? I was wondering to myself if this game was worse than Battletoads the other night.
Which is, no, there's no possible way.
I mean, that's the extent of what I was feeling when I was like, I have a hyperbolic statement. Is this game worse than Battletoads? I don't know. That's how it felt to me when I was playing it, but I don't know if, I don't know if I still feel that way.
No, you can't.
But it was fun when I hopped back in for 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. So this game, it's beyond the 40 minutes to an hour part where it starts to overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
And probably the difficulty increase, I would imagine as well.
Yep.
Where you're just yeah, no. How about no?
Yeah. All right.
Just done.
I got one more thing, Dan. I think, we've kind of alluded to this, but you have to have this as what the game doesn't do well is the fact that it's only one player.
That is also my last point, Jordan.
Yeah. And I think some of the things that I don't love about the sequel are because it's a 2-player game and they obviously had to make cutbacks elsewhere.
Yeah.
This game is fun. If I'm going to play one of these 2 games by myself, I'm picking this one.
Okay.
But if you're playing a beat 'em up game, you want to play it with a friend.
Yeah.
And so this game kind of loses out to separation anxiety in that fact of beat 'em up games are made to be played multiplayer. If you could have 4 players and you got a third person running around as Daredevil and a fourth person running around as whoever.
Lock and Key?
No, those aren't. No. Also, they don't fight.
Cloak and Dagger.
There you go. Okay.
Well, is Lock and Key? That's a different comic.
Lock
That's
and
not
Key
Marvel,
is a different
right?
comic about little children who live in a spooky house.
Okay.
And no, I think it's Image or
Same.
Dark Horse or one of those.
Same thing. Cloak and Dagger, Lock and Key.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, it's a bummer there's not 2-player, but I think that, I don't know what to say about it because the things that they cut in the second one, there's so much stuff that I like about this one that the second one doesn't have, so it's kind of a toss-up.
It's the same thing that we always talk about. It should be like, okay, you're doing pre-production on your video games.
Yeah.
It's a beat 'em up. Automatically,
Two.
It's co-op.
Yeah, at least 2.
Just off the rip, you're making a game co-op.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I would take half of the game in co-op, and this is a much better experience.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially if it's like you give each player continues, or you can share lives, or like you get some of those like nice co-op beat 'em up features.
Yep.
I feel like the art in Separation Anxiety is a little bit more like squat.
Yeah.
Like shorter. I feel like the characters in this game are taller.
Yep.
So you'd probably have to adjust your art style a bit to cater to 2 players, but
they did. Yeah. The art is not as pretty in Separation Anxiety. They have like these pre-rendered backgrounds that don't look quite as nice. So there's stuff about the second one. They definitely had to make cutbacks to make it 2-player. So it's kind of a balancing act.
Jordan, if this game had co-op though, we wouldn't have that wonderful second level where you're climbing up the side of the wall.
Yeah.
And trying to avoid the lightning. So that would not be fun in co-op.
I think that wasn't lightning, Dan. Those were sonic waves from shrieking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It looked a lot like lightning, and when she jumped, it sounded like big drums booming. Kind of sounds like thunder, so I could see where you got the whole lightning thing from.
You said big drums booming. I was hoping there was a part of my brain that was working very quickly that was hoping you were going to say Big Boss. Back to the Metal Gear Solid.
Who's Big Boss?
He's the Lolly.
Okay. Yeah, I've already erased that game from my memory, and...
So are you saying that you're ready to do Worth It or Worthless remastered Metal Gear Solid 1?
Now I'm having flashbacks, and it's no longer erased from my memory.
What happened in Metal Gear Solid, Jordan?
It didn't stay in Metal Gear Solid. That's the problem. It's not like Las Vegas. Shadow Moses Island is not Las Vegas. That's a
Jordan,
problem.
Sometimes you gotta.
This is the thing, and it's
watch
happening.
Love bloom on a battlefield.
This is happening again. This is the same thing that happens every time, where I say I didn't love a game, or I didn't have as good of a time as Dan did, and then all of a sudden it becomes that I hated it, and that's not the case. That's not the case. I'm playing into my own hyperbole here. I didn't hate the game. Go back and listen to what I actually said.
I don't appreciate you insinuating that we're ever hyperbolic on this podcast.
This studio could be called the Hyperbolic Time Chamber.
We could change the name of the show to Fun Facts.
Just do the first part?
It's all facts.
But
we do it with fun.
All of our statements are facts. Gotcha.
Yes, true.
Okay. All right.
And we're a fun guy.
No, that's Mario. He's a fun guy. No, I guess Toad is a fun guy.
Toad from Super Mario Brothers, the movie? The guy who plays music on the street and gets turned into a Goomba?
Oh, yeah.
Goomba!
Poor guy. All right, let's move on.
All right. So, yes. Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know.
Yeah.
So I know that you think weirdly about Marvel comic games.
Yeah.
I know that Cloud Your Judgment.
Yeah.
I know this cartridge is red, so that would look great on a shelf.
It would.
So if you found this at a Goodwill and you wanted to put it on a shelf, because
you're doing all of my caveats for me. This is amazing.
Is so cool. You got those great cutscenes. So this is all inflating the normal price that you would say by at least 300%. Jordan, what would you pay for the experience you had with Maximum Carnage?
Yeah. So this is the thing. It is a Spider-Man game. I love Spider-Man. But if we're judging purely by today's standards and I want to play a Spider-Man game, I'm just going to go play Marvel Ultimate Alliance on my Switch.
Okay.
So, if I'm buying this, it's purely as a cool thing to put on a shelf.
You don't say.
Because if I want to have a retro beat 'em up experience, I'm gonna go with Captain America and the Avengers or the Punisher, and I'm still gonna scratch that Marvel itch. Or if I really want to play a Spider-Man beat 'em up game, I'm gonna go find an arcade that has the super strange Spider-Man beat 'em up. I think that Sega made or something. It's so weird. Everybody meows. I don't know if you've ever seen this game.
I feel like I vaguely.
Spider-Man has like a weird hunchback and he like walks really slowly.
It's not Arcade's Revenge.
No. This is just an arcade game. It was never ported. It's got way too big sprites. Anyway, all that being said, I like $5 purely for like the aesthetic value of the cartridge.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
$5. You didn't like it even more than $5 for this great storyline?
I mean, this is the thing. Like the
now
more
you
we
don't have to
this,
read Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like I would rather go and find a used copy of this on Abe Books for like $14 or whatever, and just that's where I would spend my money.
I feel like that's got to be cheaper than that, or you just get a month of Marvel Unlimited, and I'm sure it's
there. You go. Oh yeah, Marvel Unlimited.
Free trial of Marvel Unlimited to read Maximum Carnage.
You underestimate how often I've used that free trial.
I feel like I know you are frugal about a lot of things.
Yeah, I love comic books, but I don't buy comic books. I'll ask for them for my birthday and for Christmas, and I will buy them if somebody gives me a gift card.
But I feel like you're the kind of person that would justify a Marvel Unlimited subscription and make good use of it.
I did. When we lived in Montana and we lived like an hour from the nearest library, I did have a Marvel Unlimited subscription for a little bit. But I eventually, once I started like getting comic books for like Christmas and stuff, I can't read them as fast as I get them. So I don't do that anymore. Yeah.
I did Comixology Unlimited for a little bit, and that was good, and then I just stopped reading comics.
There are a ton of comics on Hoopla, which is like the app that you can log into with your library card.
Yes.
And so I read like a ton of Invincible on there recently. Okay. And there's also a bunch of Marvel stuff, even newer Marvel stuff, not like the brand new stuff, but like from a few years ago. Yeah. So if you want to get into digital comics and you don't want to pay anything, get a library card and just support your local library anyway, because libraries are awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Hoopla or your library will have plenty. That's how I pretty much read. I think most of Ultimate Spider-Man was from the library.
Same. Yeah, that's right. I read all of Ultimate Spider-Man was from driving that hour to the library in Montana.
Do you remember when they exploded the Ultimate Universe with Ultimatum and then it just wasn't ever the same again?
No, I didn't get to the end of it, so I don't understand why Miles Morales is in the 616 universe, but he just is these days.
I don't know.
I need to eventually read the end of that and figure out what happened.
When they changed the cover style from like the standard like red, the original like Ultimate Spider-Man had like these prominent red bars.
Okay.
And then I think they changed the Ultimate Comics thing to have like white prominent bars.
Okay.
And like after that point, I started to like phase out of it. But okay,
not a phase.
Yeah. Phase 2, Marvel, Phase 3. What are we in? Phase 4? Phase 6?
I don't know. What are we going into? 5? I don't know.
Are they out of characters yet? Or are they still just going to keep doing this thing?
What are you talking about? We got so many.
I had literally never heard of Shang-Chi until it was a movie.
Shang-Chi.
I can't even... Anyways.
They make a joke about that in the movie because he goes by Sean.
Oh,
and he's like, you changed your name to Sean?
Okay. Jordan, I think... I didn't go deep on this, and my
gut level.
$6.
Hey, that might be the closest we've come.
No, it's the close. I think it's the closest we've come in a while.
Yeah,
but I think there's been a few times in this podcast where the stars have aligned, and we have seen eye to eye for
a brief moment.
We've probably, I would say about 10 times, 11 times maybe we've seen eye to eye in our lives.
Beautiful.
Over the course of our 15-ish year friendship.
This is one of them. I love it.
$6 is what I feel like my retro gaming collector premium.
Yeah, so our money is similar. I had a significantly better time with this game than you did, but our money is in the same place.
So in Jordan to Dan dollars, that would be if you were standing where I was standing, it'd probably be 18
easily,
and me standing where you're standing would be like $2.
$2 is a good number.
It's an adequate number, like you said.
You can literally say $2 for any retro game, and you can make an argument for it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Try me. I'll go all of 2022.
Metal Gear Solid.
$2.
No.
100% $2.
No.
Yeah, that game is worth $2.
No.
It's on a disc, so minus all the money right there. And it's blurry. It's too long. Too many cutscenes. $2.
You are insane.
Next.
All right, Jordan. What do you think the retro gaming market is paying to add maximum Carnage to their collection?
What about the red copy?
Well, I don't. So the Genesis, like I said, price charting got a little weird on me. There was a cardboard box Genesis version.
Oh yeah.
And the regular version.
Okay.
The cardboard box version is half as much as the non-cardboard box version. Price charting also had a special edition of this, which I didn't dig too far into.
Whoa.
I assume, I don't know. I don't know what the special edition is. I think it had like some pins in a book or something according to the pictures on price charting. I don't know.
Weird.
What do you think the Genesis version of this is going for?
Probably a stupid amount of money. I'm going to say $30.
$30. No, it's not.
I'm glad.
So the cardboard box version was like $10.
Okay.
The non-cardboard box version, which is the clamshell version, which might be the red one, I don't know. I feel like the cardboard boxes for Genesis came out later.
Who knows?
So somebody knows.
Someone out there knows. They're screaming.
Jeremy Parrish knows.
Jeremy Baramy knows.
Yep, not that guy. The other Genesis clamshell version, whatever, $21.
21.
So we got 10 for one and 21 for the other.
Oh, okay, those are reasonable.
So that's
as
like
far as retro games go.
15, 16 between the two somewhere.
Okay. Super Nintendo.
Somewhere. Super Nintendo, what do you think?
$30.
$30. No.
Oh.
Super Nintendo version of Maximum Carnage, Jordan. $51.
$51. Well, yeah, it's most people say it's the inferior one to the Genesis one, so it only makes sense that it would cost significantly more.
Sounds about right. You know what's funny, Jordan? I think it was last night. My wife had like some random. We have like free channels on our TV with our antenna or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like the HD antennas give you a bunch of weird like free
broadcast
channels.
TV.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, broadcast. It's just what comes over the airwaves.
TV. Third Rock from the Sun was on the TV.
Yeah.
And it was an episode about where they were making fun of, they weren't making fun of it, but it was about Beanie Babies, but not Beanie Babies.
Oh,
they were I think they were called Fuzzy Buddies or something.
Perfect.
And they started like hoarding these
Fuzzy Buddies.
Not these Fuzzy Buddies, and they were like not paying their rent or like buying food for the sake of like collecting these Fuzzy Buddies so that they
basically the 2021 version of buying Dogecoin and not paying your rent.
They were buying these Fuzzy Buddies to flip.
It's a good investment.
And then I forget the
bubble popped.
What's his name? What's the John
I've never seen the
John
show.
Cleese. Who was the characters? I don't know. The one guy, like they go to this like swap meet to sell their collection to finally cash out on these Fuzzy Buddies.
Yeah.
And he ends up instead buying $800 for a rare factory defect Fuzzy Buddy.
Oh, he
and
bought
runs
it.
out. He buys it. Instead of selling the collection, he hoards more retro games.
Yeah, exactly.
And
this
I thought
is just
it was,
a parable about retro gaming.
games because it was like this sounds weirdly familiar where rare defects go for a lot more money. They're like, wait a minute, it's worse.
It's worse, but it's worth more because it's worse.
Because it's worse. Jordan.
Dan.
Where are we at on the PAL tax?
Oh.
For these guys.
The Genesis one coming in at 25 and the Super Nintendo coming in at 63.
Okay. Super Nintendo PAL version, Jordan, $61.
I was close.
Now, we had a time, I don't remember what it was, with separation anxiety.
Yeah, this was actually the first game we ever talked about the PAL tax, Dan.
Okay.
I remember that from our conversation. I don't remember much else, but I remember that.
That game was, I think, upwards of like $200 or something, or like $130, $140.
Crazy money.
Something obscene for separation anxiety. Jordan, the PAL Mega Drive version of Maximum Carnage,
Yeah.
$108.
$108.
Could you imagine how you would feel paying $108 for this experience?
The separation anxiety PAL is $106, so they're very similar.
Okay. Did it go down? Was the Super Nintendo version? What do you got? Price charting there?
This is price charting, yeah. The PAL Mega Drive, $105.79, and the PAL Super Nintendo, $76.
Oh, I feel like that came down.
Maybe.
I feel like they were like $130, $140, but obviously in the 20s of this show, that was dozens of weeks ago.
It was a long time ago, a couple of years ago.
If you can get this game for $10, I might call it worth it, but that's like stretching it for me. So whatever that cardboard box version.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's just the cardboard box itself. Box only cardboard box for $10.
If you're talking paying $20, $30, $50 for this game,
$108.
go play Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the new one on Switch. You'll have more fun. It'll last a lot longer, and you don't need any cheat codes. It just works right out of the box.
Man.
Not even out of the box. Just download it. You don't even
You can
have
get
to.
so many better games for the price of this one.
Yeah.
I mean, even just retro games, you can get a lot of better ones for what this is going for.
Probably.
For crying out loud.
Maybe not by the time you hear this.
Yeah, we'll see. Jordan, we got trivia today.
We do.
That's worthless. We're
going to call it worthless, yes. But we got some trivia. One of the things we didn't really talk about was the music because it's pretty unremarkable, Dan. But our trivia question is about the music.
Mob Rules by Black Sabbath.
No, I was not going to go that easy on you. This is not even from the Wikipedia page. The musical cues that announce the appearance of other heroes in the game were sampled from the soundtracks of iconic feature films and television series. Cloak's theme, for example, was the 1977 King Kong theme.
Okay.
And Iron Fist's theme was from the 1973 Bruce Lee film Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
All right. Which movie soundtrack was used for Deathlock's assist theme? Now, did you ever get Deathlock?
I don't know.
He's like the robot guy. He puts his arms out and he shoots grenades one way.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay. Deathlock. Do you remember what song played when he came out?
No, but they were all pretty annoying.
Oh, it was annoying. So it was actually from a famous movie that I believe you've seen. So
try me.
which one of these was it? Which one of these movies was his theme from? Deathlock's assist theme. Was it from RoboCop?
I don't know if I've ever seen RoboCop all the way through. Let's just run this thing down.
Okay. Star Wars?
I have seen Star Wars.
Top Gun?
Can't say that I've seen Top Gun all the way through.
What the heck, Dan? Highway to the Danger Zone. Or Terminator?
Also don't think I've ever seen Terminator all the way through.
What? Okay. All right. Well,
But I
guys,
would
this
guess-
has been Worth It or Worthless.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Not a movie guy. Sorry, there's like I said, what I always tell people when they start talking to me about movies is I haven't seen a lot of things that you probably think I should have seen.
Terminator, though. Top Gun.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want
I
from
want
me?
you to
What
watch
do you want
these
from me?
movies. I don't know. Okay, well,
And I
just
want
take
you to
a
play these
wild
retro
guess.
games. I'm going to guess the Terminator.
You guessed right because he's a
'Cause he
robot
looks like-
guy.
yes.
Exactly. That was Terminator.
Nailed
They
it.
actually played there's no way they actually paid the licenses for any of this stuff.
No. One of the things on Wikipedia said that they used Mob Rules by Black Sabbath in this game too.
Kind of like a version of it.
Kind of like Michael Jackson did a version of the Sonic 3 soundtrack, probably.
And I guess
enough that they stopped selling that game.
The actual
in collections.
like theme song that plays in this game is called Carnage Rules or something.
Yeah, by Green Jelly.
Green Jelly.
Green Jelly did the soundtrack.
Never heard of Green Jelly, but Wikipedia talked about him like I should know who Green Jelly is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right.
They had their own like space in the opening cards where it's like
They did.
Marvel, LJN,
Green Jelly.
Acclaim, Green Jelly. Like
That's pretty impressive to get you wrote like 2 songs.
they weren't even Hideo Kojima or the guy that composed the Streets of Rage soundtrack.
You can't. What's his face?
The
The funny thing about the opening title cards is you can't skip them. Doesn't matter how many times you start the game up. I don't know if your Genesis one was this. I had to sit there through all 4 title cards every time.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway, that's it. That's all the trivia I got.
That's all we got.
Congratulations. You intuited the correct answer.
Oh, yeah. Jordan, this is still October. while we are recording. We're still in the throes of Okami as we're recording this. So we do not have an
almost
Okami.
forgot that was a thing, and you had to make it a thing again.
Well, it's a thing. It's coming back 2022.
No, it's not.
Okami 22.
Anyway,
so we don't have
a winner.
We don't have a winner
Not
to
yet.
announce just yet. But this episode is coming out in November.
You guys are like time travelers. You're hearing this in the future.
It's almost like how we schedule these things so that they come out on certain dates.
Exactly.
We have to record them before those dates so they come out on the dates.
So if you're listening in November, you have this whole month to enter into the November bounty. Our bounty is going to be a $20 eShop gift card code, whatever you call it, a gift code? An eShop code.
Now, Jordan, I know that there's only 70,000 Switches sold. So this is a pretty obscure...
7 billion Switches have been sold. And that's not even counting the new Switch OLED.
Is there a fancy name for it? Or did they just change
OLED.
the box and you hope you buy the right one?
No, it actually says like OLED Switch, and it costs like $100 more, so you
Swoled.
wouldn't really mix it up. There's about, I think, 3 billion of those already sold. So if you want $20, to buy
all of them on eBay by scalpers.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, this is your chance.
You're not getting that for $20, are you?
No. But it'll get you like a third of it.
They get you there. I think that game has been on my wish list since I got a Switch and opened up the eShop for the first time, and I don't think it's ever gone on
It's
sale.
a Nintendo game, so there's no chance.
I mean,
like Nintendo produced it or whatever.
But I feel like even Black Friday, and maybe I could, have just missed it. I haven't been looking for it.
No, I don't think it's.
But I
gone
feel
on
like I
sale.
don't know I've ever seen Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on sale. But
It's worth the full price. I'm just saying.
Whoa, that's big. Big talk
I
from you.
really enjoyed that game. All right. Anyway, $20 could be yours. All you have to do is send us a direct message on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can find us at WIOW Podcast. There's some other places you can message us, and you have to let us know what is your favorite licensed comic book game. You could send us that in a direct message at any of those places. You could message Dan or I on Discord. You could send us an email.
At worthitorworthlesspodcast@gmail.com.
Let us know your favorite licensed comic book game, and you could win. You could be November's winner.
Do we have a cute name for November yet?
No, I think we were going to just not do that anymore. Just like how we
I was
didn't
trying to
do
take
it
a
in
break.
October. We didn't do it in October.
But then we tripped into greatness.
No.
We found it.
We didn't have a name for October. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't really have a theme for November.
Yeah. And of course, Jordan, as always, you can earn, if you join us on Discord, you
Yes.
just chat, you can earn extra bounty entries if you want a better shot at winning that
Yeah.
eShop gift card just for coming and chatting as you level up in there. You also have to submit a proper DM entry
DM
for
us
those
and
extra
then
entries
chat
to
away.
count.
You can even chat away and then DM us.
DM
It doesn't
us.
matter the order. You just have to DM us before the end of November 2021.
Yes, the end of November. 30 days, half November.
Yeah.
April, June, and September. So
We had
cut
somebody-
off November.
We had somebody last week send us a message for a previous bounty, and I feel bad that they were time traveling in the wrong direction. So I pointed them towards this month.
So as we do now, the rules.
The rules.
Description. You can find the rules.
They're in there.
the description, and they will specifically spell out dates and things of that nature.
Yes.
For you guys. Did we forget anything else about the bounty, Jordan?
I think that's
at
it.
WIOW Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. Trivia. You can send us trivia.
You can send us
about
trivia.
anything that we've covered. We'll send you some stickers.
We will in the mail.
We'll send you some stickers to print out of your printer.
Yeah,
Send you
out of your Game
digital
Boy printer.
sticker file. No, we'll send you stickers in the mail.
What's next, Dan?
What's next?
What's
You
next?
wanna know? We're going on a zero mission, Jordan.
We're going on a zero mission.
With,
Metroid, she's back. Metroid is back, and we can't wait for her to go on the zeroth mission.
Planet Zebes was my home, but now it's taken over by alien brains in a jar.
My name is Metroid. With my friend Halo, we will take back the galaxy.
I posted a picture in Discord of me like one of the first screens of Metroid Zero Mission.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "It's Samus's ship. What's that Pokemon?"
Yeah.
And it looks like Genesect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about
does.
Genesect, Jordan. Do you know about Genesect, or is that?
I'm a pretty big Pokemon guy.
You used to be.
I'm still a Pokemon guy.
I don't know. Sometimes with you, you're like super into cards. You were into the games. You're not into the games. You never played Sword and Shield.
No.
You played Pokemon Go 5 years ago.
I'm not about to about to spend money on a Pokemon game when I played 1 million of them.
You're not getting Diamond and Pearl?
No, I played it already. So I'm not gonna pay to get. This is the problem. You guys keep buying these games, and they're gonna keep making them.
Day one, we're doing it.
You would. Okay.
I'm very excited. So we're covering, next episode is Metroid Zero Mission. I'm excited. I've played 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, yep, I'm so ready.
You're in.
You're
sold.
I'm so good for another Metroid game.
Well, tune in next time to see how it goes. We'll see if Dan is still as enthused by the end of the Zero Mission.
I sure hope so. Jordan, we're doing a book club.
Book club.
We covered Metal Gear Solid on the podcast, the last one that you heard, hopefully. And there's a boss fight book about that game that somebody, I feel like in February, Emo Fergie was like, what do you guys think about doing a book club? And I was
Yeah,
like,
read books. I like to read books.
We'll put that on a pile. And here it is. We covered Metal Gear Solid. There's a Metal Gear Solid boss fight book about that. So we are going to read that as a community, have a roundtable discussion about their book at some point in, I think, November. We'll keep you guys posted, probably on social media when we have more details on that. So if you want to join us for that, let us know.
Yeah.
There's going to be a link to the book in the description. I think you can get a paperback copy for like $15 or less, or you can get the ebook version for like $4.
$4.99.
Or you can
pennies don't count.
Do as our friend Retro Librarian Gamer did and do an interloan library deal where you borrow it from another library.
Somebody might have it in your area. You never know.
Jordan, Extra Life, November 13th. This episode I think comes out properly on the 9th of November. So if you're listening to this exactly when it comes out, November 9th, 2021, we've got Extra Life on
this weekend,
Saturday, November 13th, 2021, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to be raising money for a local children's hospital. We're going to be gaming all day.
For the kids.
We'll probably do some Smash with the community at the end of the day. We'll probably try to do some Perfect Dark HD multiplayer. Don't know. I'm thinking about it. We got to try it. Maybe
you come in,
kick the tires.
Give some money to the kids, and maybe we'll even listen to what you want us to do.
Yeah. But I'm thinking also, Jordan.
Yeah.
I might be canvassing Mario Maker 2 levels from the community to play on Extra Life Day. So that
make
could
some
be
Kaizo stuff to make Dan go crazy.
Well, you're going to be going crazy too.
Oh, no, I'm watching.
Here's the thing with Mario Maker. My Extra Life plan, pass the controller. And it's going to be a competition, whoever finishes more levels. So I take a shot, you take a shot, I take a shot at the level.
Okay, all right.
And we see who does better on the day, Jordan.
For the kids.
We'll see who establishes dominance. Jordan, one last thing.
All right.
The day that this came out, we should have a Patreon that's live right now.
Right now.
You could probably find our Patreon where
It's live.
It's live.
If you've ever found yourself saying, man, I love this free content, but I would love to pay some money for it. This is your chance.
There's an extra podcast that you get access to once a month.
I want more.
You get to vote on some of the content that we put out. You get a discount on merch, which we're trying to get going. And
early
release dates for this. And whatever else craziness that we can think of to throw in Patreon to make it awesome. So I'm sure there will be a link in the description of this podcast for you to find that. And I hope you will join us on that journey.
Yes. I was trying to think of a video game with Journey in the title.
Don't Stop Believing.
That's all I could think of was Don't Stop Believing, my favorite video game.
All right, my friend. Do you have anything else before we close out the episode with our music segment?
I think that is going to do it for us. I'm amazed that we went through this entire episode about Spider-Man. Never mentioned that there's a Spider-Man movie coming out in like a month, and there is a Venom movie that came out last month. So if you're just itching for more of that kind of stuff, you've got options.
Or you should just go play the PS4 Spider-Man game. I don't know.
You should, before you do that, sit down, send a strongly worded email to Sony and tell them, hey, let other companies make Spider-Man games so we can have them on Switch, and then play Spider-Man.
Maybe not. Jordan, today closing out the show, one of the artists, so last year, I believe it was.
Yeah.
About this time, Chilltendo came out.
Great album.
One of my probably my most listened to albums of the last year.
Yeah.
By somebody whose name I can't ever. I need to.
We're just gonna call it Jokabi. We're gonna say
Jokabi. Jokabi. Might be Jokabi. I don't know. Might be Jokabi. I don't know. I need to like just find like an interview where somebody talks to this person so I can figure it out.
Maybe it's not even a person. Maybe it's an AI. Maybe it's just a computer that's making this stuff.
No, it's Mikel's brother. Mikel of Poké and Chill, Zelda and Chill.
Are you certain that Mikel is not a computer?
I'm pretty sure he's not.
All right.
So we got Song of Storms off the newly released Chilltendo 2. Is that it?
Song of Storms. You picked the song. You don't even know what it sounds like?
I've listened to so much, like the tracks sometimes kind of blend together when it comes to like these Zelda tracks.
You never played it. I forgot.
We'll get there at some point. But yes, it's from Ocarina of Time.
All right. I wasn't going to buy the Nintendo expansion pass, but now we're going to have to so we can force Dan to play this game.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Wow. All right.
I'm going to borrow the 3DS version, and I'm going to give you the N64 version to play.
No. I don't get that expansion pass, so I can do save states.
Nope. You're borrowing the N64.
Busy that day. All right. Roll the tape.
All right. Song of Storms by Jokabi off Chilltendo 2. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bye.